The Witcher franchise is not in a good place. I think we all know that by now. The Blood Origin stuff has really been bad for this franchise. Henry Cavill leaving, I think, was the final straw for a lot of people. And I think that shows when you look at that petition and the fact that it's finally almost to 300,000 signatures. I talked about this in a video last week. It's getting really close. They only need a little over 1,000 more signatures, and they're going to hit their goal of 300,000. And then that won't close it. It'll just go up to a higher number. But I think it's pretty significant that you've got 300,000 people willing to go out of their way to sign this, to send a message to Netflix that says, hey, you really messed up here. Why are these writers still in place? Now, Henry Cavill leaving is bad, but it looks like Netflix is going to try and do some damage control, and that's by splitting season 3 into 2 parts. Now, why would that be a big deal? Well, that's 2 years of Henry Cavill. Or maybe, I'm not sure when they would come out, but you would have an extended period of time of Henry Cavill compared to him just being gone. So this would let people forget about it a little bit. Now, when season 4 comes, it'll come right back. But it's almost like, hey, let's milk him for an extended period of time so that people have to come back a few times. And then maybe after the enraged fans calm down, they'll accept season 4 a little bit better. I still think that rumor that they might reboot everything is true. Now, we'll have to wait and see. But I think the theory there behind erasing his legacy and rebooting everything, you don't have to follow the lore, that might be something that they're going to take a look at. Now, I think that would be a huge mistake because these writers think they're so talented that they can write it better than the original author. And fans aren't going to be fans of that. So MovieWeb is saying The Witcher Season 3 could be split into 2 parts. This is coming from the showrunner herself, who It's a Gundam calls the new Kathleen Kennedy. I'm kind of with him on that. I think she is. She's quickly becoming. Maybe they give Lucasfilm to her. Maybe all of this is some kind of job application for her to take Kathleen Kennedy's job, who probably really is finally leaving Lucasfilm after Indiana Jones. I do think that that's going to happen. And what does that mean? That's her leaving on her own terms, by the way. I'm not saying that she's going to take the job, by the way. I know some people might run with that. I'm saying she for sure is in running for the new Kathleen Kennedy title. Lauren Schmidt Hesrich. The highly anticipated 3rd season of the Netflix's Witcher series, inspired by the books of Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski, the CG Projekt Red best-selling video game franchise may be split into 2 parts. In an interview with Collider, showrunner and creator Lauren Hesrich said that Season 3 might air in 2 parts, but they have not decided yet. We haven't discussed that yet, but at this point, I think what we are seeing across all sort of streamers, I wouldn't rule it out. I do think that obviously we don't put anything out that we're not incredibly proud of. Oh, you're really proud of Blood Origin, huh? So that dictates our entire launch date. I think it'll be interesting. Again, we have a way still very long time, 8-ish months until The Witcher 3 comes out. So God willing, we get it all out at the same time. But who knows? We will see what happens. This is a way to milk his farewell. That's what this is. Milk it. That way, you have people come back twice. Instead of just having them all sit down and watch it once and be done, you get them to come back twice. And then him leaving during that second part is a little bit easier to swallow and fix their dying franchise. So, if anything, I think this petition is going to blow up after season 3. Because remember, season 3 is the straw that broke the camel's back. This is what caused him to leave the show. So I'm thinking season 3 is going to be a masterpiece when it comes to dog shit series and dog shit shows. I think this is going to be the big one. I think this is going to be awful. Like you thought Blood Origin was bad? Get ready. This is going to be a hell of a lot worse. Speaking of Blood Origin, an interesting bit of news that came out 3 days ago, at least according to CBR.com here, The Witcher Blood Origin criticized for using stolen art. Now, this is a problem with a lot of companies, by the way. We see this quite a bit where I know Call of Duty's done it at least twice, where they will go and take some designs or something that a fan made and just lift it, and they don't even get them credit. They don't even put credit down for the person they stole it from. Like, hey, here's this fan that did this great thing. Even though we didn't ask them, at least here's a shout out. Now, they don't even do that. They try to pass it off as it came from them, which is really effed up. Like, can't you at least give them some kind of acknowledgement that, hey, look at this great art that we like so much, we put it in the show? It's a little messed up. And fans have been responsible for making a lot of stuff for franchises over history that some people might not even know. Like a good example, the Spider-Man black suit, the symbiote suit that was in the comics. A fan came up with that design. Sent it into Marvel. Jim Shooter bought it for $250. I think I've got the details of that right, but I could be a little bit wrong. But from coming off of my memory right now, Jim Shooter paid, I believe, like $300 for a fan design that was eventually turned into the Spider-Man black suit that came from a fan. So, I mean, that's been done tons of times. But it's kind of shady when you just steal it and you don't say anything. But of course, I mean, we've learned that there's nothing but shady people working on The Witcher anyway. Here's the apparent artwork that was stolen. So this, I believe, is from the show here. And these are his pictures. He's throwing a little receipt here. Kind of messed up, if true. If true. Pay the man and apologize. I agree. Yeah. Even if they don't pay him. I don't know if this is inspired by The Witcher or not, but if they just lifted some dude's art, that's really screwed up. Especially when you consider that Netflix is a multi-million-dollar company. For them to just lift shit like that, I think is really shady. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble, my locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.